Aquarius, what's popping? What's going on? Welcome to a quick, okay? I just wanted to do a quick energy pull for us. Pull a couple cards. I'm going to be pulling some cards from the Skin Deep deck, okay? So we have the Self Edition as well as the Healing Edition, okay? What the? Oh, God. Get... Listen, this carpenter bee just came through it and shook up the spot. So self and healing, I'm going to be pulling a couple of questions. These are question-based cards, and I just feel like, you know, Spirit has really been telling me that, you know, as Aquas, if we are not getting the right answers, because, you know, Aquarius, we are the sign, and our mantra is I know. We know. Okay, don't let nobody convince you don't know. And if you don't know, if we ever get into a place of not knowing or confusion and we don't have that clarity, it's because we're not asking the right questions. Okay, so I want to go ahead and pull a couple of cards from each of these decks to give you guys a few questions that will lead you to some answers possibly, okay? So if, you know, this stuff doesn't resonate with you, that's okay, but I just got to be obedient and do what God tells me to do, okay? And I was, you know, cleaning up today, and God said pull a couple of cards, so I will. So I'm going to be doing that. Make sure you guys tap into the end of the year energy report. It's up on my page. This is for all signs, so this is a universal message, universal energy report for all signs, all of God's creations, okay? So let's see what we can do. I've already cleansed the cards and cleaned the energy and asked God to align us with the message. So we are going to go ahead and start with the self, okay? 2 cards for the self. Spirit, give me 2 cards for the self, for the Aquarian collective. 2 cards for the Aquarian collective that we might need, questions that we might need to ask in order to get our proper answers. Okay, let's see what we got. Yep. Let's see what we got. So we got, is it me or them? Or am I just refusing to see myself through them? I don't know if you guys can see that, but is it me or them? Or am I just refusing to see myself through them? Question number 1 on the self, okay? I'll put the questions in the description when I'm done, you guys. That's interesting. That's interesting. You know, I think that 2023 was I keep saying this to folks. I feel like I was in a room of mirrors. Everybody that I came across, not everybody, but people that I came across were mirroring to me, you know, pieces of myself. And whether I liked it or not, I had to accept it. And the pieces that I did not like, I had to really sit with myself and tell, you know, and really get straight with myself that those are things that I might need to change. Those are things that I might need to fix or accept. Sometimes there's no change required. It's just an acceptance that has to go down within the spirit. And, you know, thank God, by the grace of God, I was able to do a lot of that integrating a lot of those shadows. Let's get another question for the self, for the collective of Aquarius, to see what we got. How am I most like my mother, and how does that scare me? How am I most like my mother, and how does that scare me? So you might have some unfinished business with your mother, or you might have some resentment, Aquarius. You might have some resentment, with your mother that you might need to clear up. And again, this is that same theme of mirroring, right? How are you mirroring your mother? How is your mother mirroring you? And what are those things that you like, right? What are those qualities that you can take and use for the greater good, use for the better? And then what are those things that are creating maybe some resentment in your spirit that you might need to let go of, accept, and come to peace with. I'm gonna do one more card for the self, one more question for the self. Give me one more question for the self, for the Aquarius collective. One more question for the self. Skip this one. What do I find most gratifying in my life right now? Leading us to that gratitude, that state of gratitude. I've really been meditating on gratitude. I don't know why. Typically, I'm a very grateful person. Like, I don't need to effort to be grateful. But lately, I've just been very focused on what I don't have, who I don't have, what I don't have. So it's been hard. It's been an effort for me to get into a space of gratitude. I've had to create that. So what do you find most gratifying in your life right now? I would take it a step further, and I would create a list. That's what I've been doing. I've been writing down a list of all the things that I'm grateful for in a day, no matter how small. Like, I woke up today, I had something to eat today, I had stuff in my fridge today. Like, no matter what it is, I've been trying to find the small points of gratitude. Spirit said, yep, find the small points. Okay, find the small points of gratitude. So here's our questions, and again, I'll put these in the description, but here's our questions for the self. Is it me or them? Or am I just refusing to see myself through them? Okay, you might be having some conflict in relationships right now, or you might not be seeing eye to eye with some loved ones. It could be romantic, it could be platonic, or your family. But Spirit is asking you to take a step back and reflect, right? Be objective, step back, and see how this person is mirroring you, or this situation is mirroring you. If it's showing up in your universe, it's in you. It wouldn't even come into your awareness if it wasn't a piece of you. So we got to get, to a place of peace within self before we can have peaceful relationships. So it's time to do some analysis of the mirroring that's happening in our lives. So that's a beautiful card. We also have, how am I most like my mother, and how does that scare me? The fear, right? It could be for good. Maybe your mother is a high achieving person. Maybe your mother has high status in the community, or whatever community you guys inhabit, and maybe you're afraid that you can't make your own mark, or maybe you're afraid that you can't, that you won't receive the praise and the acknowledgement. But Spirit is asking you to take a look at how you are like your mother, how you are most like your mother, and figure out where those fears are, because it's time to transmute fear moving into 2024. There's not really much room for fear in 2024, and as Aquarius, we don't really need to move in fear in this age. We don't need to move in fear. It's the age of Aquarius. The energy is in our favor. So our biggest work is to clean out our vessel, right? Clean out our minds, clean out our bodies, so that we can purely receive messages from Spirit and move in an authentic way. Okay. And our final question for the self is, what do I find most gratifying in my life right now? It's time to get grateful. We got to get into this new year on a spirit of gratitude, no matter what has happened. Like 2023, it was a year of a 7, spiritual year, spiritual awakening, spiritual cleansing. So everybody went through it. It wasn't just you, okay? Nobody went untouched. I don't care how they portray their lives on the screen, right, or in social media. Everybody went through a trial of a year. And we can see that if we look at, like, now we see celebrities like Taraji P. Henson coming out, and she's speaking about the industry of film, and how, it's not all glitz and glamour. It's not all what it's cracked up to be. These people are broke, just like us. Shoot, And a lot of them spiritually broke, right? So some of us are richer than the people that we are aspiring to be. And I think Spirit is telling us, especially as Aquarius, we got to move authentically. We can't be comparing our lives to other people. We can't be trying to get to the next step without being grateful for the last step, trying to keep up with the Joneses. We got to move authentically. The world needs us right now. Whoever you are and however you show up in the world, exactly how you show up, the world needs you, especially if you're an Aquarius. So write down all those things that you're grateful for in your life right now, and keep that paper on you. If ever you start to get into comparison mode, whip that paper out. That's what I've been doing. Whipping my little journal out. I have a little small journal, and I start reading all the things that I should be grateful for and that I am grateful for, and it puts me right back on track. Okay, so that's what we have for the self. Let's move in to healing deck. Okay, now the healing deck, what do we need to heal, Spirit? And we only have a few more days left in 2023. Only a few more days left in 2023. But what I'm learning about, what 2023 showed me about time, is that it only exists in the mind. Okay, because there have been situations, relations, and just things that have that were supposed to take a long time that happened in a flash for me this year. And then there were things that I felt should be moving a little smoother that have been having major delays. So time is relative to the person experiencing it, and so we can get some things healed on our way out of this year. It's not too late. Okay, and if we need to move it into the top of the next year, that's all good. Because for some of us, our year already started. This year, my New Year started on December 12th on the 12/12 portal. So, you know, I've been doing my New Year's resolutions and all that great stuff. My New Year's changes and shifts. So, Spirit, go ahead and give us some healing cards. What does the Aquarian Collective need to heal? What does the Aquarian Collective need to heal? What do you think I still deeply desire, and why? Okay. Maybe you need to ask yourself this. This is a question, a conversation with self. What do you still deeply desire, Aquarius, and why? You know, desires are not flukes. Okay. I know, as somebody who has extreme ADHD, okay, a million ideas, my brain never stops. Of course, us as Aquariuses, we're always thinking, air signs, our mind is always on, and so sometimes I do come across hobbies that I get super excited about, and then it kind of just fizzles out, and I'll create a whole life plan around this hobby. I'm not even playing. I'll create a financial plan around it. Maybe I'm supposed to just like create business plans or create businesses for people because I'm really good at that. But the follow through just isn't there because the desire doesn't stay. But there are certain things that I have always desired, and the desire has not faded. Like, the desire has been there pretty much my whole life. And so that's how I know that those things are purposeful. Those desires are supposed to be there. Okay, so what do you still deeply desire? And try to figure out why you desire it. I think the why, that's just an Aquarius thing. We gotta know why, because we're the I know sign. So the why are you desiring this? Maybe some of your desires no longer serve you, or you know, it was a desire that was based on a low vibrating frequency. Okay, maybe it was a desire out of lack. Okay, maybe it was a desire that was coming out of that survival mode, right? And maybe now that you've gone through 2023 and cleared some of that out, maybe you no longer have a need for that desire. Maybe your desires are changing. So it's time to analyze your desires. Okay, let's get another card, another healing card. What else do we need to heal? What else do we need to heal? Spirit, that card, I didn't like it. Let me do another one. I didn't like that card. It was, yeah. We're gonna keep going. What do we need to heal? Let's see. For the Aquarian Collective, what is one thing that you really want to do? Again, we're back to desire. It's interesting how these cards are You know, all of the self cards were kind of about mirroring and lining up. And so now we have these cards lining up. What's one thing that you really want to do? Okay? What's something you want to do, Aquarius? Now look, I'm telling you, it's the age of Aquarius. Whatever we touch is going to turn to gold. It's just what it is. We just have to be in an authentic and genuine place. And it has to just to be something that is in alignment with our true essence of the humanitarian spirit, right? It has to be something that serves the collective. So what is it that you really want to do? And if it checks those boxes, the humanitarian box, it's not causing any harm, it's something that you desire, it's in your heart, go for it. Go for it. Maybe there's some healing around, there could be some healing that needs to be done around achievement. Maybe freedom. You know, Aquarius, we need our freedom. We don't play about it. We will rebel. We are ruled by Uranus. It is a rebellious little planet. It is a rebellious energy. It does not have an orbit like the other planets. It's just kind of off in its own world. It does its own thing. It doesn't really like to listen to rules. And so maybe now, you know, what I get from this, Aquarius, I'm hearing you've done enough for others. You've done enough for others. You know, as Aquarians, we're humanitarians. We can be overgivers. And I think, you know, 2023 illuminated that for me. It's not about being selfish or stingy, but it is about vetting the people that you give your energy to. And whether it's money, time, conversation, sexual energy, all of it, a person needs to be worthy of that. You don't just willy-nilly give out your energy. And I know in the past I have done that, and so it's great to be in a space of maturity around giving. But now it's time to give to yourself. What do you really want, Aquarius? What do you desire? Okay, because the energy is set. Let's pull one more card. This is interesting how this is lining up. When does conflict, now I will say these cards are meant to, because they are a healing deck, they're meant to do with a partner. But you are a partner to source, and you're a partner to yourself. You are your greatest partner. You can work against yourself or with yourself. So I'll read this as if there's another person, but apply it to yourself. So when does conflict arise between us, and what can we learn from those moments? So when does that inner conflict arise? Okay, so now we're doing a little self-reflection. When are you your own worst enemy, Aquarius? Because we can be. We are overthinkers. We can think ourselves out of a great idea. We can think ourselves out of a great relationship. But on the flip side of that coin, we can also think ourselves into a great relationship. We can think ourselves into a great job opportunity. We can think ourselves into a great friendship. We have that power as a fixed sign of that divine manifestation. And so when that inner conflict arises, write those times down. Is it around matters of money when you start to become conflicted? Is it around matters of the heart where we start to become conflicted, right? And Aquarius, we really have to be careful with our hearts moving forward as air signs, especially as those big givers, the humanitarian. Like I was saying earlier, we can't just give to everybody. We need to let people prove worthy and safe before we begin to overly give. And that doesn't mean that, you know, if you see someone in need that you can't do some light giving, but, you know, we pour. You know, we're Aquarians with that big, you know, gourd of water, and we will pour our water out, our last drop of water out for people. And while that might seem heroic and it might stroke the ego, it isn't spiritually safe. We got to be better than that. And we've got to mature into being our greatest protectors. Okay? So, but in order to be our greatest protector, we can't also be our greatest enemy. So I think, you know, in this past year, and even coming down to the end of this year, it's a shadow period. It's a lot of shadows going on that we need to release before we move into this 2024 year of abundance. It's 8, infinity and beyond. 2024 adds up to 8. 8 is the sign of money, abundance, prosperity. You turn that 8 on its side, it's infinity. So from here on out, we have a chance and a choice to experience the energy of 8, right? But we can't do that if we're in conflict with ourselves, if we're holding ourselves back. So what I see here in terms of our healing, Aquarius, is we've got to release and let go of all of the burdens and the things that held us back, right? All the people, places, things, ideas that held us back from our inner desires. It's time for us to act on our highest desires now, because those desires are leading us ultimately to our divine purpose, right? And so if we're questioning, you know, we got to get rid of that overthinking, that self-doubt. If we're questioning every step of the way, if we're worthy, we got to get rid of that low self-worth. We have to know, Aquarius, going into 2024, we have to know. We have to know. And we do know. That's the thing. We don't have to question whether or not we know. If we're getting these hunches and these intuitive nudges to get away from people or to come closer to things, we've got to listen to that. That was put in us for a reason, a divine reason. We wouldn't be the sign we were with the attributes that we have if it wasn't supposed to be that way. It's divine, right? And so what conflicts are arising, and what can we learn from those moments? Are there some insecurities that we might need to go in and smooth over? Are there some are there some spells that have been casted on us? And you know, spells, the easiest spell to cast is through the word, because we all can speak. Most of us can speak, right? And so are there some things that have been told to you over and over that you have now adopted, and now they're becoming conflicts from you getting to your divine desires? Okay. So we gotta analyze that. Okay. This was good. It's so interesting that you can have a whole deck of cards and they can, you know, they can touch on a variety of subject matter, but when you get to pulling in the spirit, they all align. So now we have here for the self, what's going on with the mirroring and the relationships, and how can we use our relationship with our mother, or the things that we do and don't like about our mother, or the things that we see in ourselves that show up in our mother, how can we use those things to eliminate the fear, okay, and create more gratitude in our lives? Okay, for the self. Now for the healing, it's time to dig into our desires. And it's time to stop judging ourselves for the desires that we have. It's just time to act on them. It's time to get out of our heads, Aquarius, and it's time for us to do it. Fuck it. Fuck it, for real. Fuck it. Like, what is holding us back other than self? Other than the conflicts that we have within self? Nothing. Nothing. Anything that we do, Aquarius, is successful. Anything we do. So why not do it? Why not do it? That's our healing. Is to give ourselves what we've been giving others. Ooh, that's it right there. That gave me the chills right there. We need to act upon the love that the love and the energy and the encouragement, because you know, Aquarius, we're the friendliest sign in the zodiac, yo. So what we give, we really are great friends. We really go above and beyond for the people that we love, and that's why we got to protect our heart chakra. We can't just be loving. We can love everybody, but we can't let everybody in. Yeah. That's good. That's good right there. We're going to end it right there. I was going to pull a tarot card, but I'm still studying. I'm still studying tarot, and until I have it down, until I know, I don't want to be messing with spiritual tools without the proper knowledge. So once I get my studies down, I know you guys been asking me about tarot readings and stuff like that. Once I feel confident, then I'll go ahead and introduce that to the channel and to the page. But for now, I love where we're headed, because a great question can lead to a profound answer. A great, you know, if you ask the right questions, and I think that's another thing, Aquarius, that we need to zone in on. we've been asking the wrong questions, okay? And sometimes we need to get away from why, because we want to know so bad. Well, why? Sometimes the why is unimportant, and we need to ask some more in-depth questions, some deeper levels. We need to go to some deeper levels with our questioning. That's why I love these cards so much. So this is great. All right, Aquarius, so that is it for our energy reading. Question, I don't know what I'm going to call this. Question reading? I don't know. I'll figure it out. But that's it for us. Hopefully this helped somebody and gave somebody some divine guidance. Hopefully these questions, you take them. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the description. That way you guys have them all in one place. And if you want to journal them and put these in your journal and explore this a little further, I highly encourage that going into the new year. But this was the energy reading. I hope you guys got something from it. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are feeling my vibe and feeling what we got going on here, looking to build a strong community, especially around Aquarius. Okay, I'm an Aquarius. I got Aquarius Venus. I have a few more Aquarius placements, but I just feel like Aquarius need to be guided and protected, and there needs to be a spiritual protection around us during this time, because we are so free-spirited and free-thinking, and it is our time to do that and to be that. There's a lot of energies that will come up against that, right? There's a lot of people who are energies that are living in shadow, who might resent or envy the Aquarius. And so, you know, I'm looking to make this place a safe space for us moving forward, and I'm excited about that. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next reading. All right, peace.